Welcome back to Orcs Must Die, and we'll be continuing to play each level in this game and getting 5 skulls for the first time. So, next level is a tower, and here we are. So, we have about 10 skulls before we finish the tower, which is not enough to really buy anything. I usually prefer to buy damage dealing upgrades to the traps, and the ones that are available right now for the 10 skulls are not any good. Like this one, so it's a single use type of traps, which I don't really like. I prefer the multi-use ones. So let's continue on, and we're gonna start with the tower. So we're gonna get this trap, which is called the lava floor, I believe. It's in English, but basically it's a burning floor, and it's a good trap in terms of that as orcs run across it, they burn, but it eventually cools down. It has to be kind of reheated up eventually, like almost all the traps they do have a reset cycle, and that's what I don't like about it, and I don't like the fact that it's also pretty expensive. Alright, so here's our level. What do we need to do in order to get 5 skulls actually? So first of all, you should not die. Number 2, no orcs should make it to this rift. This actually is location from the title screen of the game. Alright, and finally we need to kill off those orcs in a certain amount of time, which we don't know because the game sets for us. One thing to note here is that it's a tower, as it's called. There's a bunch of staircases that we will be fighting orcs on, and it also gives us this neat little ballista thing that we can use to shoot the orcs with. It does pretty good damage. The problem is that it's here, and most of the action will be happening lower down here, because here's actually the doors for which the orcs are trying to break through. You do have few chandeliers to drop on them if you wanted to. Right, so there's that. There's a portal there to go all the way up. There's a nice little platform here for the archers. We got a log here that we can use to throw at the orcs. We got another log up this staircase here. There's another one, and I should also note that we also have this door here, which makes it a situation that, well, if you want to set up traps, we should have them all here so that they're effective against orcs coming from this door and this door at the same time. So, we're gonna start off. Well, first of all, before we start off, let's pick a few things and a few upgrades that we want to have. Now, I will be using mostly traps, so I'm going to pick the Steel Keeper and the Keeper of Steel, and we're gonna pick up the following upgrades for the traps, which is gonna leave us with very little money for anything else, but we'll be using that money for something else, I'll show you. Alright, but first of all, what we're gonna pick, and before that we should look at who we'll be facing: the normal orcs, the crossbow orcs, the kobolds, and the ogres. So nothing special, there's no flying orcs, anything like that, so pretty good, straightforward. First of all, we're gonna pick up the flaming bracers, because they're extremely good at blocking the path to for the orcs. The ice amulet we're not gonna pick up because there's no point. We will be picking up the alchemist sack with the little bombs. They are great. We're gonna get the blade staff just in case. We're gonna get the dart trap. We're gonna get the arrow trap. Why? Well, because as orcs are running here, they'll be running right into the walls, and that's where the arrow trap is going to be pretty good. So let's get that, and we're also gonna get, well, we're gonna need this one, the electrical trap on the ceiling, which will be zapping the orcs, and the scorchers, as well as we're gonna get the archers. That's actually what we're going to be using right now. We're gonna put up the archers in here first. Now, while it does look like it's a very far range for the archers to shoot at the orcs, which is it is, and as such, we might say, oh, but at that far range it's not gonna be very accurate. That's true also. There's a certain benefit to this, and that is the benefit when your enemies reach this area, the archers turn on them and just kind of slaughter them there, because they're all very much grouped up and there's not much they can do. Alright, since we know where the orcs are gonna come from, which is this door, we're gonna get up this door, get the flaming bracers, and let's go. Also breaking through. And there we go, now they're coming through that, and we can just kind of slowly shoot at them. Well, let's do it pretty quickly actually. And now that the orcs are already coming through faster, we can either use the flaming bracers to set up a wall, or we can just use our bombs to kind of create a kill zone as well. So we don't want to use any of the logs right now, so logs are great. We're gonna get the ogres as an extremely efficient and fast way to deal with them. So now we're gonna just look at the minimap and make sure that no enemies are coming through. Actually, what we should be doing is this. We'll put up so there's no enemies coming through here. All of them are coming through this area. So let's go ahead and set up our flaming flame wall here. We can just stand here and attract the orcs to this area. Well, that not always works, but it's great. I can see the archers actually not doing that bad in terms of range. Alternative to using the wall, it's also possible to use the bombs. Alright.
J'ai un cadeau pour toi. Ça me fera plus mal à moi qu'à vous. Non, attends, c'est l'inverse.
Okay, so this orcs still coming through here. He's not breaking through the other door yet. And we can use a bit of bombs. Also very effective. Especially against this crossbow orc, because they just stand in one place. They don't move, and so they end up very much in a nice little group. The only problem with the crossbow orcs is that they tend to shoot at our archers, which is annoying. Alright, so we got the money now and the time that we want to use right now to invest into the archers. Because we have the ability to stand here now and kind of set them up. Gonna set them up so that there's quite a few of them. There we go. Jump down. And we're gonna see that now the desert doors are breaking, right? So the orcs are gonna be coming through both directions now, broke the doors. So we're just gonna close off the doors immediately. This is a very nice narrow spot here, which allows for very much effective use of this. In the meantime, they are dealing with these annoying kobolds there. They are archers. Right. So now that we have the money, we should buy up a bit more of the traps to slow down the orcs.
Je ne crois pas.
As usual, we're just gonna go ahead and there we go. We close, nicely cleaning up the works here, making sure that they're not be able to come through. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna put up these porters looking that way. We're gonna put up another one here, and we're just gonna put up, slow them down here as well. It's I find that it's very important to use also money, not to save anything right now, because you're gonna find a bit of a problem in terms of dealing with all the different orcs. There's too many of them here coming through to constantly need to deal with them.
Ça, c'est fait.
Alright, good. Go ahead now, grab the coins. Ah, you can't grab that coin. Oh, I see what happened. We used up the log. That was not the plan. The logs, better to keep them for very extreme situations. We were not in a very extreme situation, so use of the log was a waste. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and build up
Tu ne le sais pas encore,
a
mais
bit
je vais
more of our defenses here.
Ça va faire mal.
There we go. Let's start off next. The enemies are just gonna go through here, I guess.
Ça me retourne l'estomac.
Must have been not hitting anything. My crossbow. Alright, good.
Je l'aime bien celui-là.
And now we're gonna put up this one on the ceiling traps, so that we can deal with any enemies coming through. Coming through is still not being killed off fast enough.
Qu'est-ce qu'on s'éclate.
Alright, good. We got them handled here. We're going to need more of these sealing traps to deal with enemies. Any more coins? Anything we can really get? Nope. Ah, too many ogres. There you go, solution to the too many ogres problem. I said the logs need to be kept for extreme situations, and that time we kind of use them up accidentally, not in the best way. There we go. That kind of gonna solve this situation here. We also want to have a bit more of defenses. We're gonna put up a few more here. If we had the time, we would have put up a few more archers, but we don't have the time. And I didn't have the time enough to even set up my usual wall. So instead, we're just going to go ahead and add a few more of those arrow walls, because while they'll fire at first when the orcs are coming through, they also will fire again once the orcs are already here in this corridor area. You can see our electrical traps are doing a great job here zapping the ogres. And there you go, 5 skulls. If you don't fall exactly in the same way, like if those logs did not roll down certain areas and so on, it's possible to be a bit more of a pickle, and because you're gonna end up having to deal with ogres as they climb up the stairs and you keep going around, so it does take a bit of time. That ballista on top, it's very helpful to deal with them, and you might have less time left. Like I have quite a bit of time now left, but it's possible to have very little time left if you kind of focus differently, or set up some things differently. But overall, it's still possible to do 5 skulls here, just with this mix of traps. It doesn't matter how you set them up, in which sequence actually, you're still going to end up with 5 skulls. Alright, well, thank you for watching and for listening. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it, and please follow and subscribe.